Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel, Blue House Vintage. I have an epic thriftorama for you today where I'm going to go to 5 thrift stores and I'm going to take you with me to see what we can find. We're on Instagram at bluehousevintage.yyc, and without further ado, let's go thrifting. So the first stop of the day, we hit up Value Village. So I'm going to take you through and show you what I found. This first thrift store came up pretty dry. Didn't find a whole lot. I think I ended up picking up some brass napkin rings, also a coat peg hook board that I'm probably going to refinish, paint white maybe, and give it to my daughter to hang up her little bags and purses, and we'll put it in her room. So I haven't quite figured that one out, but I did pick up a couple things, but like I said, not too much at this first stop. I did pick up this basket as well, and I'm just using it right now in my kind of eating nook on my bar cart to just place a few random items in. So that was a nice practical find for my house for $4.99. I was kind of keen on this mug. It was kind of cool. I hadn't seen anything like it before, and then I turned it around and saw that on the back. Like, oh, no, not gonna get that one. If you're subscribed to my channel, I just put out a video a couple days ago of kind of like a behind the scenes at home on how I organize all of my items that I list for sale on Etsy and how I pack and ship them. So if you're interested in that kind of content, just go and check out that video. And also let me know what you prefer. Do you want to see more of that kind of stuff as well, or do you just want me to take you to the thrift store? I'm fine either way. Just let me know what you would prefer, and then I'll definitely take that into consideration into future videos. These horse pictures were kind of cool. I'm not really super into horses, although I know a lot of other people are, so I haven't really picked any of those up. One of the biggest, the best selling items that I've had so far in my shop and on Facebook Marketplace have been artwork. So I feel like that should be one thing that I should focus on finding more of and listing more of, is just unique and interesting pieces of art. The ones that I have sold are very eclectic and unique, and I really feel like that's kind of a good thing to sell in terms of art, because everybody has such unique taste, right? And if it's something that they've never seen before that really calls to them, they are going to be really interested in it, and that so far worked out fairly well for me. Interested to know what kind of art you all enjoy. Let me know what kind of styles you are into, like landscapes, and would love to know. Always interested in what other people's tastes are in art. Everyone is so different. The furniture section was pretty dry. The only thing I did pick up was this pegboard, and hopefully I'll be able to show you what I end up doing with that once I get that organized. And that's about it for thrift store number 1, Value Village. So I'm gonna head over to another thrift store next that I have never been to, which is called Serve Thrift. And we're gonna check that out together. This is a charity shop for, I think, some type of Christian ministry. And it's a small thrift store. They didn't have a ton, but I did find a few books, actually, some coffee table books. And I think that was all that I really picked up from this store. This was really neat. I wish that it had been priced a little bit lower, and I definitely would have picked that up and tried to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, but it was $25, and so I thought it was a little bit expensive to invest, but really cool wine holder. So that one, maybe I could have made a little bit of money on that, but I decided it wasn't worth the investment. They have really good book prices here. It's $2 for an adult book, so I thought that was a really good price. So I did spend quite a bit of time here looking for some good coffee table books, which you'll see. The first one I found was this I think it's pronounced Bargello or Bargello. I don't actually even know, but it's basically like the art of knitting Afghans. So I thought it was really cool. It had some neat pictures and patterns, and the cover on it was really vintage and kind of weathered. So I thought it was a really neat look, and it had kind of like an embossed title on the front. So I thought it would be a beautiful coffee table book, and hopefully somebody picks that up. I did find a few other kind of cool art books. This one I considered for a while and then decided to pass on it. I'm not as much a fan of like modernist art. So I tend to usually, when I pick up a coffee table book, I try to only pick up a book if I'm interested in it myself, because who knows how long you'll have it in your house. So I like to have them out and actually enjoy them and read them and look at them before somebody potentially buys it. So I like to only pick up books of topics that I'm actually interested in reading about. This clouds book was kind of interesting as well, but I ended up not picking that up either, just because I feel like it's not vintage. It seemed like a newer book, so I passed on it. With these coffee table books, I always check the cover and take the jacket off to make sure that the cover is actually attractive, because I feel like most people, when they have them in their home, they take off the jacket and just display the hardcover. So I just check it to make sure it's, an attractive cover. Let me know what you guys are into as far as coffee table books. What kind of stuff do you look for? What do you have in your house? I'd be interested to know. I usually go for like books on art, books on Canada, and books on nature. And then I have a few like books on the royal family and different topics that I'm interested in. I have one on like life in ancient Egypt, and books on home design, but I'd be interested to know what kind of books you are interested in as well. So drop a comment and let me know. Looking at this clip here now, I kind of regret not picking up this book, because this was a really neat book on London and had so many beautiful black and white photographs. I am kind of regretful that I didn't get it, and I wonder if it might even still be there if I went back. But it was a very vintage book. It looked like weathered, and it was just kind of a really cool book. So I'm kind of having regrets now. I'm looking at it again because it was pretty neat. And I think the price tag on there, I think this one was actually $4. Some of the coffee table books at this thrift store were individually priced for ranging from like $2 to $4. And maybe that was why I didn't buy it for $4, but even that I feel like is still a really good price for this vintage book, which I think was published in 1959. So, or at least the original printing was in 1959. But, oh well, it walked around the thrift store with me for a bit, and then unfortunately got reshelved. But you can't win them all. Here's one that I did end up picking up, and it's kind of a good representation of what art I prefer. And so most of the art books that I pick up are kind of along these lines. And I thought the cover was really beautiful, like just pure white, and then it has black writing on the spine, and I thought that would look really good, styled on someone's coffee table or on their shelves. So I picked that one up, and that one is currently listed in my shop, and it's sitting on my coffee table. And I still haven't had time to actually read this or take a look at it, but I definitely hope to before someone picks it up.
If it's in the bits, yeah, the grooves there, I didn't see those at all. But then that's going to lock.
The rest of the shelves were fairly sparse. I kind of felt like I was looking really hard and like trying to find stuff where nothing existed. I don't know if you've ever felt that way when you're at the thrift store and you're kind of like having a dry day and you're just looking to try to find something. So I think that was kind of the mood that I was starting to get into in this thrift store. I would, however, go back there for the book section because I didn't even look at like any of the novels or anything like that. I just did the like look for vintage coffee table books. So I would kind of go back there to peruse the bookshelves because they did have a lot of books for $2 a pop. So, and this candle, I did get that for 79 cents. I can never resist an owl. So that little guy's sitting on my shelf looking at me right now, and no regrets there with that guy, and he's never getting burnt. So he's here to stay. So I guess I didn't come out too empty-handed. This guy here, I probably should have picked this up actually, because looking at it now, I actually like it a little bit more than I like a couple of the items that I got at the thrift store that we're going to be going to next. And it was like the same price. So it was $10. And I thought at the time, I was like, you know what, that's too expensive. But now looking at it back, I think it was probably worth the $10. That would have been really cool as a hanging pot plant with that colored design on the bottom showing through. Like I haven't seen anything like that before, so I do kind of wish that I would have picked that up, but I guess I just wasn't in the mood for it. I think that's one of the important things with thrifting is like if you're gonna go, like you just have to be in the right frame of mind, and some days you'll pick up certain things where other days you wouldn't, and vice versa. So it just kind of depends on what you're in the mood for to buy. So it's weird. A lot of the times watching these back, you'll see items that you kind of just want to jump through the screen and be like, no, buy that. But when you're there in the moment, it's just not something that you're really feeling. My grandma used to have similar little hangings up in her house, so these really brought me back in time. And here's the wood section. I tried really hard to find something in the wood section. I was just not ready to give up on this thrift store. I did find this kind of thing. I don't know, what is this? Can someone please tell me what this is? Because I would be curious to know. I have no clue, but it looked interesting. Anyway, let me know if you know what it is in the comments. So hands up if you had one of these when you were a kid, because I know I did. Mine was the shape of a car, and it actually had wheels. And I still have it, actually. It's my daughter's piggy bank now. This trivet was really cool, and I actually wanted to get it, but it was really beat up. You can't really see it very well with the camera, but there's just so many scratches on it, so I decided to pass it up, but it was really cool, actually.
Thank you. I thought it'd be bright today.
There was a Blue Mountain pottery section, but it was all mainly retail priced items, so they know they're kind of like collectibles, so they were too expensive for someone like me to buy and resell. I know those of you who buy Pyrex and love it and sell it and collect it are probably cringing right now, but I don't usually buy it unless I need it to bake with myself. It's just too big to store and too heavy to ship, and I feel like it's just not my cup of tea. This I would have loved to have gotten if it hadn't been so expensive. So they priced it at $24.99, and I've seen those like kind of cookie jars or whatever you would put in there before, and they're really beautiful and well made, mid-century jar or pot, and I would love to have one day, but I have to wait to find one that's a little bit more affordable. I consider these for a minute as well, because they would have been a nice addition to kind of like take out of the package and then place in like a gift basket. I do have to make gift baskets for my day job, so I am always kind of like in the back of my mind looking for items that I could put in a gift basket. This sign really cracked me up. Dinnerware items you eat food from, and obviously it's kind of funny because it's kind of obvious, right? But we do in Calgary, we do actually have a very high rate of immigration, so we have a lot of newcomers coming to our city all the time, and some of them don't speak English at all. Some of them speak English very well. So obviously this charity shop is catering to, some of those folks who need a little bit of help with learning the language. I do have some regrets over not investigating this blanket a little bit further, because this was a beautifully, beautifully made throw blanket and with some gorgeous like flower design on it, and I'm definitely having some serious regrets over that. I didn't even look for the price. I don't know why. I guess I just wasn't in the mood for it. And then this is what it's like to be in Calgary right now. So let's go to thrift store number 3. And this store is the Salvation Army. So believe it or not, this was my first time in this store. I have never been to this store before, which is shocking. But as you'll see, I didn't really enjoy it too much for a few different reasons. But I did find a few items. So one of the things that I don't know, I just can't hack it when stores merchandise based on color. So please let me know what you think of that. Do you like when the shelves are color coordinated instead of like related to the item? It's just something that I can't stand. I hate when they have like a blue shelf and a green shelf and a pink shelf. It just grinds my gears so much, and I just find it so much harder to find things that I like, and it just takes so much more time. This is the black shelf. I did find these cups and plates and whatever. Like if you're into it, I mean, it would be cool. But like again, I just don't understand like the haphazardness of it, like having like a soap pump thing next to like a bowl that you eat out of. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I want to hear from you guys, so drop a comment and let me know what your opinions are of like how that merchandising is. Like, do you like the colored shelves, or do you like it organized by item? At least they had all the craft items in one spot, not based on color. I believe we've located the silver shelf, the gray shelf, if you will. It just does not make sense to me. I spent so much time in this store trying to find stuff, anything, and I will be hard pressed to go back. The pricing also is a little high, I found. If you are in Calgary as well, I know most of you are viewing from the States, but this is the Salvation Army closest to Chinook Mall, which is one of our biggest, it is our biggest mall in the city, and a very central location in the city. And I don't know, maybe it's just speculation, but I feel like the closer you get to inner city, the more you pay, is kind of an observation that I've made. But, you know, maybe I've just been going to the wrong stores in the inner city. So, but like I said, I wouldn't be too fast to rush out to this thrift store again. We'll see. I may check it out again and give it a second chance, but wasn't too thrilled with it this first time around. And it was interesting doing this video for you guys because I chose the thrift stores that I chose. I hadn't been to 2 of them before. So 2 of them, like the one that we were in just now, World Serve, I'd never been in there before, and the Salvation Army had never been in before. So I really had no expectations going in. This plate set would have been a really good buy for somebody you know, just starting out in a new place or doing an update on their dishes, because that seemed like a full set and really nice looking, good quality dish set. These salt and pepper shakers made me laugh too, from Sunny Regina. So a little Canadiana there for you as well. And this is clearly the yellow end cap. So everything here is yellow. So again, just can't get over those colors. I can't resist smelling a candle either. I never have any intentions of buying them, but I seem to not be able to resist smelling them. This one was kind of like you walk into like your grandma's house. That was what that one smelled like. So if you've made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, especially if you love thrifting, because that's my favorite thing to do. And there's going to be so many more thrifting videos to come. So if you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a like as well, because that helps the channel out tremendously. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is the beige end cap. And here we are at the pink end cap. Just in time for Valentine's Day. And finally, I found it. The brown section. Finally, my stuff. I think I was in this thrift store for at least 40 minutes before I finally found the brown section. Hallelujah. Let's look at pottery. So I found this little cute brown pottery mug, which I'm selling on my shop, and a bunch of other cool stuff in this section. So holler at me in the comments if your name is Fran. I actually almost got this mug because I just thought, you know what, there's got to be a Fran out there who would just die for this mug. But I decided I'll just put it back. Let Fran find it in person. I didn't want to interrupt this video with any more commentary because Corey Hart is playing in the background. I wear my sunglasses at night. And here finally you can see my baby. I am totally in love with this mug. I will never sell it. I've been drinking out of it every day since I picked it up, and that was like my favorite find for sure of the thrift trip. an expensive mug. It was $3.99, so that's like the most I would ever pay for a mug. But I think it was totally worth it. Super beautiful, very unique mug. And I did pick these up. These are for sale now on my shop. I thought they were really neat. They were $2 each, and I guess they were vintage 70s. I did some research on them, and it seemed like most of them are from the 70s. And this is another one of my favorite finds of the thrift trip, was this pitcher made in Italy, and I thought it was beautiful and neutral. I feel like it would be a really good vase, especially in the spring, just to put some greenery in or some flowers. So I picked that up, and that's currently in my kitchen, but it's also for sale in the shop too. This candle holder was really cool. Let me know if you would have picked that up. Also really like these salt and pepper shakers, but I already have some in my shop, so I decided not to pick them up. Let me know if there's anything that you've seen that you would have gotten, or anything that you like so far. Let me know in the comments. Kind of wish I would have picked this up. I think it would have been a really cool hanging plant container. It was just neat. I haven't seen one like this before, but I decided to pass on it. Where are my Harry Potter fans out there? Love those mugs. This was cute too, but $4.99 for a mug. I think that's just getting a little bit excessive. So I couldn't justify that one, but kind of a cute mug though. Especially if you remember those books from back in the 80s and 90s. So clearly we've found the green shelves. I thought this was going to be a good score. It was really beautiful, and then I turned it over and I realized that it was just really damaged on the bottom. So still probably would have been usable as a chips and dip bowl, but I didn't want to pick it up just because of that damage. And I was interested in this one here just because of the drip glaze on it, and I thought it was unique with the flower design. So let me know what you think of this one and whether or not you think it's ugly. Is it beautiful? I took the plant out of it, obviously, and it's listed on my shop. I think it's neat, but let me know what you think of it and whether or not you would have picked that one up or left it behind. I think we've arrived at the orange/yellow section. And holler at me in the comments if you know what this is. I actually have one in my fridge as we speak, and I grew up with it. So let me know if you know what that apparatus is. And the color coordination just kept going. They even had these top caps that were above like all the racks, and they were color coordinated. Like they had blue, green, yellow. They just were going hard on the color organization at this thrift store. And that's it for this thrift store. So I'm going to take you for a quick lunch break with me to my favorite Vietnamese restaurant, which is called Bolsa, and it is absolutely amazing. This is what I had, just a bowl of pho, and it was really spicy. My lips were like burned after it, but such a good little place. If you're local, go check it out. And the next thrift store was Wynn's. So this thrift store, you've seen me shop here before. I like to support them because they are a women's and family charity. So what they do is they provide families who are, you know, really needing assistance with just setting up, you know, their homes. Maybe they're coming out of situations that are not very pleasant and they're starting from scratch, and this charity allows them to shop for free. So they can go and get everything that they need. You have to apply for this service, and it's based on need, and then you can go and, you know, just shop and get all of your clothing and your housewares that you need to set up your new place. There was a lady on the channel a couple videos ago who had commented about this set, and I said I would go back and look and see, maybe potentially purchase it, because I know she had said she was potentially interested in it. But unfortunately, when I went back, you can see that there are pieces of it left, but the main teapot that was with it is gone. And what they did is they priced each set of pieces like individually, and unfortunately they priced everything fairly high. So I wasn't able to pick her up anything. So if you're listening, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get that set for you. These were really pretty. Does anybody know if these are vintage? It says made in China on the bottom, so I'm assuming not, but I thought they were kind of cool. This was a neat chip and dip bowl, and I think someone probably would have really liked it. I just wasn't sure about investing $8 in it in case it ended up having to stay with me for a long time, and it's hard to store and doesn't really match my kitchen. I did pick up this seashell trinket bowl. Apparently seashells are all the rage right now, so that's in the shop. And I bought this cat figurine for my daughter. She had asked Santa for a statue of Paula. Paula is our cat. and Santa didn't come through for her, but Mommy did. I found it at the thrift store, so she was really stoked about that cat statue. All right, we're almost at the end of our thrift orama, and we are going to the fifth store, which is the good old Goodwill. So let's see what we can pick up today. So interesting fact, I actually learned just the other day that, and I don't know how I didn't know this, but the Goodwill, at least where I am, it does not charge GST. So here in Alberta, we have a goods and services tax of 5%. So everything you buy, you get taxed 5% on it. And at the Goodwill, they don't, because it is a charitable organization. So I did not know that. When you shop at Value Village here, you pay 5% on top. So really interesting. I was calculating everything in my spreadsheet that I use for my inventory as an extra 5%. So I'm gonna have to go in and adjust that based on whether I bought it at the Goodwill or a different thrift store. If anybody also out there is ever interested in seeing or using my spreadsheet and having my spreadsheet, let me know in the comments. If there's enough people who would be interested in having that spreadsheet or seeing it, like, let me know and I can do a video on it or figure something out to kind of share it with you guys. One thing that the Goodwill always seems to have in really good supply and better than any other thrift store in my area are baskets. They always seem to have baskets, like nice ones. Some of them, you know, not so great, but others like this one. I mean, this is a beautiful basket. If I was in the market to make a gift basket right now, I would have definitely have picked this up. I probably should actually just buy, whenever I see them, I should probably just buy them just to have them on hand, because sometimes I do need to make a gift basket. So anyway, if you have a Goodwill in your area, let me know what you typically find a lot of there. At ours, they seem to have a lot of plant pots, vases, baskets, that type of thing. Those shelves are always full. I did see this flower retro kind of tapestry bag that looked interesting, but I ended up not getting it because I wasn't sure if it really was vintage. Definitely vintage design, but I wasn't sure if it was actually old. And then I kind of came to my senses and realized how much space it was going to take up, so I didn't get it. Did find this old vintage sewing basket, and due to the condition of it, I ended up reshelving that. But would love to find one of those one day in the thrift store. So that's about going to wrap up the thrifting. So I'm going to take you back home and, as usual, show you the thrift haul, and we'll go through each item in more detail. So this is the final thrift haul. One of the favorites of mine that I found was this pitcher vase. And it's hard to read, the sun is really bright that day, but it's hard to read the tags, but I believe it was $10. That sounds about right. So again, pricing a little bit higher than what I would have liked at that Salvation Army thrift store, but I did find a few things. All in all, it was kind of a light haul for being thrifting for more than half the day. I started at like 9 a.m. and I definitely was not done until probably like 1. So it was a long day of thrifting for a small haul, but I'm still happy with what I got. And, you know, you gotta make lemons out of lemonade. One thing I will say, thrifting tip, and I feel like this is kind of where I went wrong, is I went thrifting on Monday. And I've decided that Monday is just not the day. It's not the day to thrift, at least not where I am, because I feel like that's when the shelves are cleared out from the weekend and they haven't restocked. That was like the vibe that I was getting, and I could be wrong, but I've kind of taken Mondays off my list as far as thrifting. I'm gonna stick to the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday routine. Typically I go out thrifting if I can two times a week, and I'm just going to continue to go in those midweek days in the morning if possible, because that's when I feel like their best opportunity is to get good items. I almost never go to the thrift store on the weekend because it just seems like the stores are picked over, there's too many people, and, you know, because of the flexibility of my day job, I can go at better times. So if I can be there on a Tuesday at 9 a.m., that is ideal. Also, I meant to say make lemonade out of lemons, not the other way around. So I hope you are liking the haul. Let me know what's your favorite item that I picked up. Is there anything that you would have passed on or that you definitely would have picked up? Let me know what you guys think. So these coffee table books are for sale right now on my Etsy shop. And you can find the link to that in the description box below if you want to have a look. I have lots of art books. All these items are now listed as well, plus a lot from previous videos. So if you want to check it out, the link is in the description box. And I picked these two books up as well. I read them when I was traveling years ago, and I didn't save the copies. I think I was backpacking when I read them, so I picked those up to reread. And here's the brass lamp that I found as well. This was $15. I thought it was really cool. I have it right now in my living room. I don't intend on selling it, and I may end up polishing it up a little bit. I thought the pleated lampshade was really cool, and yeah, so I picked this lamp up. I was pretty happy with that find. And here's the pegboard that I picked up at the first thrift store. So I'm not crazy about the color and how the pegs are not matching the wood, so I feel like this is a good project to paint. Maybe a nice color and put it in my daughter's room for her to use to hang stuff. And here is the final haul minus the books. And here's our sweet cat, Paula. She's always wanting to see what I'm up to, and you'll see her featured here in many videos to come. So here's the coffee table books that I picked up without their sleeves, and they actually look really good together, so that was kind of a happy accident. So those, I know someone will love the way they look, and also hopefully the subject matter as well. Now it's time to go over what has sold recently in the shop. And first up is the music box, which was in one of my original thrift hauls. That sold on Etsy for $22. And the vintage floral fabric also sold for $35 on Facebook Marketplace. That was 3 yards worth of fabric. And I also sold my very first blind date with a book. And that will feature in a video that's upcoming where I will take you shopping for a blind date with a book. So look for that video coming soon. And that's it for today's video. I appreciate you watching. It was a long video. I hope you enjoyed going to all those thrift stores with me. As always, if you like the video, please hit the thumbs up, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel. And we will see you next time. Bye for now.